Guys, stop trying to be disciplined. You guys need to switch your thinking. Everyone thinks that to get better at trading, you need to be more disciplined, right? If you have these psychological issues, you need to be more disciplined, right? Maybe you need to hit the gym more to improve your discipline. You need to eat even cleaner. You need to abstain from video games and whatever, like you don't need to do any of that, guys. While all of those things are great, you do not need to do them. They're not the deciding factors between you being disciplined on the charts and you just being an idiot, if I'm being completely honest. Right? Instead, you need to look at why are you being an idiot, right? It's not because of lack of discipline. It's because all of us as humans, we obviously all have a brain, and inside of our brain we have this thing called the amygdala. The amygdala is basically the thing that triggers the fight or flight response in us when we perceive a threat and we perceive danger. We either fight at it or we go away from it. And some examples of this is, when we take a loss, maybe we want to fight back and revenge trade. Not go down without a fight. And obviously that leads to our demise. Maybe the flight is something like your setup presents itself, but because your last trade was a losing trade, you start to hesitate and you're scared to enter just to see price move without you, and then you get FOMO and a whole negative spiral happens. So the key is not discipline. The key is regulation. You want to regulate your nervous system because your nervous system is ultimately what is causing your demise. It's not your lack of discipline. You are more than likely disciplined enough to trade. It's just that you continuously fold under pressure because you lack emotional regulation. So, another example of this is, say you're a bodybuilder, right? And you've got a show in a couple of weeks or something like that, and you need to be on point with your diet. You cannot have not a single extra calorie in you. You know what I mean? Just imagine you're in that situation. And every time you go to the kitchen, every time you go to the pantry, in the front of it, there is a jar of cookies staring at you every single time you make your way into that pantry. Right? Eventually, you may not eat a cookie the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, but eventually a cookie or a bite of a cookie will be eaten. I can promise you that. If that cookie jar never leaves that environment, you are going to eat at least a bite of a cookie eventually, right? And most likely that will happen when your body is put under too much stress to the point that willpower fails to overtake it. You know what I mean? And for this example, it would be if you're starving, if you are super hungry, you are starving, and the first thing you see are cookies, you're likely going to swallow at least a cookie or two. You know what I mean? Now in trading, this can look like something like you may go into the trading day, right? Thinking you're going to be disciplined. oh, I'm going to be disciplined, I'm going to follow all my rules, right? Let's say this is pre-market right here. And then market open comes, boom, huge move to the upside, maybe the first few minutes, right? And then you see this move up, but because you feel like you're in a pressured environment in the trading day on the charts, you end up like trying to catch this move. You don't want this whole move to play out without you, right? You don't want it to end up doing something like this, you know, and you're never in there. You don't want that. So what do? You try to maybe catch a trade like somewhere near the top or literally at the top, right, where it most likely does not follow your system. And then what happens? Boom. Immediately to your other direction, right? Straight to your stop loss. And yeah, like you can't even think clearly when you are under pressure like that. And of course, willpower and discipline will just fade away. It fails. Discipline fails to work when mentally you are under too much pressure. So you cannot rely on discipline. You cannot rely on willpower. Instead, you just need to put yourself in a mental environment to where there is no pressure, there is no stress, right? Because one trader can look at the chart and be completely calm, relaxed, neutral, you know, very similar to how I view the chart, actually exactly how I view the chart. And then another trader can, even before he pulls up the charts, even before the trading day comes, the night before, he can be overthinking like, you know, I hope I don't screw up tomorrow morning. You know, I hope I stay disciplined, and I hope I do this, I hope I do that. And I know, guys, because I have experienced both sides, right? I know how it feels to be like super fearful that you're gonna keep messing up and this and that. But like, guys, honestly, the easiest way to fix this is simply just looking at how you view yourself, right? How do you view yourself? Like, if you view yourself as constantly messing up and constantly FOMOing into trades, constantly chasing price, constantly revenge trading, constantly over trading, constantly over leveraging, if you view yourself as doing all these things and like it constantly happening and it's just a bad habit of mine, I don't know what to say, bro, that is your identity. That is who you view yourself to be. Literally, that is who you view yourself to be. So after this video, whoever's watching this, bro, you need to look in the mirror and just say to yourself, like, who am I? Like, genuinely, who am I? And don't just like, you need to actually think on it, bro. Don't give some half-ass answer. Like, you actually need to think on this shit, bro. And if you say, oh, you know what, yeah, and you know, I'm just a fuck up and this and that, and bro, you're never gonna get anywhere. Get off this video, stop trading. But if you can look at yourself and be like, okay, I know who I'm capable of being. I may not be there right now. I may have made some mistakes, but I know what I'm capable of. And I know who I can be, what kind of trader I can be. Then, bro, that is literally the first step. Because I promise you, like, how I got out of my situation of entering, like, over here, this was my entries for quite a bit of time, a few months straight. I was constantly just top ticking longs, bottom ticking shorts. Like, that was me for a good amount of time. But how I got out of that to actually just thinking logically and thinking normally is just, dude, like who I viewed myself to be. I viewed myself as already consistently profitable and already a professional trader. And because of that, I literally walked, talked, and acted like a professional trader. What would a professional trader do? A professional trader would take one trade a day, win, loss, break even, would lock out his account after that, no matter what, every single time, right? A professional trader would not take some BS mediocre setup, right? He would literally just wait for his system, his high quality setup that he's looking for. That's what he would look for, and that's what he would take, right? He wouldn't settle for, this kind of looks good and this and that. No. Professional also would not over leverage, right? Stick to his risk management plan. Nothing else. Do not deviate from it. Do not deviate from any trading plan, really. Avoid the bad conditions of his system and not try to force a trade in those bad conditions, right? And yeah, bro, that's literally it. Like literally that's it, bro. But you guys need to just stop putting discipline as the number one focus, because I promise you it is not that important. It's an important factor, but it's not as important as you think it is. What's really the most important, that is not even close to being talked about enough on social media, is the emotional regulation and the nervous system regulation that is required to trade in a relaxed state. And when you can trade in a relaxed state where you feel zero pressure, you're going to make the most logical decisions possible. It's not about discipline. I've seen some very stupid people, to be honest. I've seen some very stupid people, and from the outside looking in, undisciplined people succeed in trading a lot. Multiple payouts, buying their dream car. Dude, I've seen it. So it's not about discipline, bro. It's not about discipline, because when I was constantly FOMOing into trades and all that, and over trading, revenge trading, bro, I was David Goggins compared to them. You know what I'm saying? I was so much more disciplined off the charts and in life compared to the profitable traders actually doing well in those times. But to literally just because I couldn't regulate my emotions. And once I could do that, bro, everything became so much easier and so much simpler. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to let you guys know about that, because I hope it opens at least some of you guys' eyes. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.